Welcome to Meet the Hawkeye. I'm your host AJ Reisetter, and on this show I sit down with some of the greatest student athletes on campus. These athletes are great on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. On Meet the Hawkeye, we highlight it all to give you an exclusive look at what it's like being a student athlete at the University of Iowa. Buckle up for tons of laughs and untold stories of your favorite Hawkeyes. It's Meet the Hawkeye with AJ Reisetter on DI-TV. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Meet the Hawkeye. I'm your host, AJ Reisetter, and today we have not one, but two incredible guests on our show today. They're record breakers. Their last names are up on the record board in the indoor track facility. We got Alli and Grace Bookin-Nosbich. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing great.
Me too.
Good.
It's great to be here.
Excited to be here, yeah.
Heck yeah. I'm excited you guys are here. You know,
Thank
it's
you.
really cold out.
Thank you.
I've got to bundle up a little more.
It was a long trek from the parking lot, but that's okay.
I'm sorry
it's
to
worth
hear that.
it.
I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
worth
sorry
it.
it's such a long walk for you. No, but you guys have had incredible career so far here at Iowa. You guys broke a bunch of records last year. Alli, you broke the 800 record last year. You're both on the DMed record, the DMed relay that broke the record last year. Let's just open up with what it was like running that race, and then when you crossed the finish line and you guys knew that you were record holders.
Yeah, I can start with the indoor 800. It was just crazy. Throughout the season, people had been like, "Oh, is the record on your radar?" And I was like, "No, like it's not." Because in the 800, second doesn't sound like a lot, but it can be a pretty big difference.
I'm gonna butt in. Everybody knew Alli would break.
I didn't think
Everybody knew.
No,
that
I
she
really,
could do it.
I had no expectations whatsoever. But yeah, crossing the line was pretty cool. I had memorized the record. I was like, just in case I need to know it. But yeah, it was a really, really surreal experience. I don't know. It kind of it changed. I don't want to say the scope of my career because I feel like that's a little cheesy. But in my own head, it kind of validated it's working. The hard work you're putting in, all the hours, all of the lifting, all of the nutrition, this means something. So it was cool. But yeah, you want to take the DMed?
That one was really cool too. That was at the Big Ten Championships, so it was already a really good vibe going on. And we knew, going into it, we knew we could get that record. Yeah. So just being able to actually do that and see that that time on the board was surreal. Like Alli mentioned, for any record, it's a great feeling. Hadn't done it. We got to do it in high school, and that was really cool too. So getting that feeling back again was, I don't know, one of a kind. So excited to keep doing it in the next few years.
It was cool.
And at the Big Ten Championships on the big stage, did they do? What was the celebration like? Because you guys smashed that record by 5 seconds, didn't you?
I don't remember the exact time, but it was cool. We all and it's just different when it's a relay because it's wow, look at what we all did together. So it was just cool to come together, and it was girls from different groups too. Right. So we had a cross girl who ran the mile, and then Amber Asoff, and then Taysa Roberts. She's from the 400 group, so the long sprints. So it was cool just to see as a team, because when people talk about track, it's more so an individualized sport. But it was cool getting that team aspect, oh my gosh, guys, we did it. So it was cool.
Oh, I can't imagine. I mean, and then where was the Big Ten Championships last year?
So indoors is always held at Spire Institute in Geneva, Ohio.
Cool.
Great facility. Going back there this year, every other year, so we're excited. But yeah, like Alli mentioned, the team aspect of it. I don't know, I think it's crazy that there's so many different styles within track, so many different talents that come in. You have your throwers, you have your long jumpers, you have your jumpers in general, and you have your sprinters versus your distance runners. And it's cool, we are all coming in with the same goal of going for that Big Ten title. And not only breaking the record for that, but also scoring towards that Big Ten title was surreal. And knowing that we did it together with other people on the team was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool to be able to witness that last year when you guys were able to do it. I saw the headline in my email list. They broke it. It was really cool. And then, I mean, it was so cool to watch you guys be able to do that. But now coming into this year, is there a little pressure to go out there and try and improve on those times? Because you're always trying to improve on the times, but is there a little extra pressure on it, or what was it like?
I would say there is pressure with it, but I feel like there's more excitement more than anything.
That's exactly what I was going to
Yeah.
say. That's weird.
Right.
That's exactly what I was going to
It's
say.
like you guys are
It's a whole
twins or
twin
something.
thing. Yeah. But no, like when we saw that, like we celebrated in the moment, and then we came back and we were like sitting down and talking with our coaches, and we were like, we could break that by more next year. Like everybody's returning that was on that DMed last year, so we could go at it again this year. And I know a big goal is to hopefully make nationals with the DMed, whoever's on that team. And I think doing that would also lead to a school record. And then also with the 800, our group is, I think, the best that it's ever been. We have so much talent and so many amazing girls in that group. So I think that'll be good. I think it's exciting to see Alli could break it by more, or anybody in our
Grace
group
could break it too.
I don't know. But
Yeah, it is cool just to like continue to push the boundaries. You know, track in general, like the sport gets faster and faster every single year, without a doubt. Like even in high school, if you look at the times compared to 5 years ago, light years faster. So it's cool being a part of that, and just pushing the boundaries, making things quicker. I don't know.
It's cool.
It is,
It's really cool. It's
Yeah.
really fun. You mentioned high school times. I mean, I talked with Coach Wakenight and Coach Woody about your guys' recruitment, as well as recruitment with like Max Murphy and Ryan Schreiner and guys like that. And they both said very similar things, how like they had to adjust their walk-on times and their scholarship times by a lot compared to when you guys and Max were coming in to now. And it's really cool to see that. How have you kind of seen that transition as well with the new freshmen coming in the last couple of years, them maybe coming in with some faster times than maybe you expected?
Yeah, well, so just speaking from experience, our freshman year, I thought our workouts were pretty tough. I was like, oh, these are
This is
the
D1.
oh yeah.
D1, this is D1 workout.
Well, now, like looking back at those workouts, I'm like, those were a cakewalk. And our freshmen so we have our girl Ava. She came
she's
in
our
this
sole
year.
freshman.
Sole
in our
freshman.
group. The baby of the group.
Yes. She rocks the workouts that we do now. And I look back at our freshman year, I'm like, oh my gosh, like coming in, she's 18 years old and like doing crazy stuff. So it's exciting to see like where she will eventually go, like how gradually faster she'll get. I don't know. It's crazy to see though. Like I look back at like high school state meets every year because I don't know. Track nerd.
You gotta check in.
You gotta look.
You have to.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. It's just crazy seeing the times that are dropped.
And I was gonna call us track nerds too, onto the twin thing. But we track like when people are coming, not just in Iowa, but like who are being recruited in every event. And we have a pretty good idea of what's really good in every event. And we see these like recruits that we're getting for next year and like in previous years for like this freshman class. And it's just like mind-boggling how fast people are. And it's
crazy.
exciting too, because you know, like at the end of the day, we're all like competing for the same team and we all want the same end goal. So yeah, it's insane.
It's cool.
That's all I can say is it's literally insane how fast track is becoming.
Yeah, and you can even say the same thing about cross country a little bit. I know you guys don't run as much about cross country. Maybe you don't run as much cross country as you do track, but talking with Max Murphy, and even I ran cross country in high school, and seeing our team now, when they were younger, running like 23-minute 5Ks, now they're running 16-minute 5Ks, which was what our top runners were running when I was in high school. It's really cool to see.
It is bonkers. But it's good to see the sport grow because you know, track, it's not necessarily the most popular sport in the world. Lots of people run it in high school and such,
but not everybody watches it, which is fine.
Exactly.
So it's just cool to see the growth.
It is.
I'm
And
excited.
even nationally too. I mean, ESPN starting to pick up
Right.
those big races that you guys will hopefully be running in at the end of
Hopefully.
the year and things
Fingers
like that. Robert Griffin III, a football star, is calling those meets. So it's really cool to see how track is starting to become a little bit more into the limelight and how coaches are pushing their athletes to go run track to not only get better at their sport, but also, you know, maybe that's a secondary sport they can go to college for and get a scholarship in. So that's love track.
Oh,
we all love
we
track
do
here.
too.
Heck yeah. But now kind of shifting focus onto this year, we talked about some of the goals, how you guys think you can go out, maybe break some more records again. But we're in the fall right now, getting towards the end of the fall season. What are you guys doing to prepare for the indoor winter season?
So our fall time, is an aerobic carnival.
Yes.
We do so much endurance.
We do a lot of miles too.
Yes.
A lot of mileage.
Lots of mileage.
For us, not compared to
yeah.
like your average cross-country runner. But
We're a little
for us.
weak in the aerobic sense. But we did dabble in cross-country this year.
Just a little bit. It was a new experience. I only ran 1 year of cross-country in high school, so I ran my first full 5K this year. And I was talking to everybody about it, and they're like, oh, are you ready for it? And I was like, I was 17 the last time I ran a 5K.
Jeez.
I hope, but I think it was good for us. And we did, not only just the two of us, but a lot of people in our group had to experience that together. And it takes a lot of mental toughness to run a cross country.
Mad respect for the distance people.
They do a lot of work.
Those events are so hard. And they kill it every time.
Yes.
And I just mad respect. Yeah.
But it's been really good for us. That's the thing. We're fine. We're done with it now. And we just started we got into speed work today, which was the first day of that.
I
So
bet
that
you were
was
pretty happy
interesting.
about that.
I was.
Very excited for it.
Grace, on the other hand,
I actually like mileage. I do
Really?
like it.
Did cross country change your mind a little bit?
Yes, I don't like. I like doing it casually. So I like going for long runs and things like that. But the longer races, I'm still getting used to. It's okay. It just proves that we are meant for the 800.
Yeah, solidifies that.
Solidifies that the 800 is your race.
Yes,
It is. Our tried and true. Yep.
And a lot of people argue that the 800 is even harder than maybe some of those distance races.
No.
Yeah.
No? You don't think so?
There's no way.
It is reassuring when people say that.
It makes me
feel
gives
good
me
about
a little
myself.
ego boost, but no.
No,
I go out there, you run a 6K.
A 10K on the track is 6 miles.
10K on the track?
What is it, 6.2?
It's a ton of laps.
A
It's
lot of laps.
Jeez. They have to do
Kudos.
that? They have to do that?
Yeah.
10K on the track?
Yeah. It's
Oh
crazy.
my gosh.
And it's always the last event, so it
It's
could happen
super-
at 11 o'clock
Yes,
at night.
and
You're
if the
sitting there
whole
all
meet
day.
gets pushed back, they just get pushed back. I know there was a couple meets a few years ago where they were racing at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
because of weather delays and stuff. I was like, how? I
No.
wish.
I-
No, I don't. But in a good way.
warriors to do it.
It does, yes.
I dreaded running 2 miles on the track. I can't imagine running a 10K
know,
on the
it's-
track.
Yeah, mad respect.
Very impressive.
Oh my gosh, I remember running the 2-mile race in high school for track.
Yeah.
Everyone had to do it at least once.
Oh,
And all the distance people had to do it at least once. I
okay.
should specify that.
Yeah.
I lost track of how many laps I'd run, and I started to stop a lap early, and everyone's like, "No, kid, you got one more, you got one more." And I thought that because a kid finished in front of me. Now he just lapped me.
Oh, that's okay.
So I had to. It was a little embarrassing.
That's
Got
okay.
going,
It
but
happens to the best of
We
us.
do talk
It's all
about
good.
everybody has to have humbling races to
Yes.
make you better.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
That's-
makes you better. So I think everybody's experienced it. And when
yeah.
people come in and they're really upset about a race, we're like, hey, you need
That was your humbling race.
Yeah,
That's
it
Makes you better.
gotta have the bad ones to have the good ones.
Yes.
Exactly.
Bingo.
Exactly.
Do you guys remember what your humbling race was? Do you have a funny story about your humbling race?
Oh, I have a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think both of us can say we have quite a few.
Yeah, last year, I'll say for last year, outdoor Big Tens.
'Kay.
I was feeling so good. I was coming up on the inside, and I got tripped. It was the last 100 meters, and there was no gas there. I just
It's okay.
jogged her in. It was humbling.
I think I have a good one. Our sophomore year, spring break.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
This is good.
she
Yeah, she
remembers
was
it,
in the
that
race
you-
as
I was
well.
in this
good.
race too. It was
So
humbling.
let's set the scene. It's our flight to, where were we? Tucson?
Yeah.
No, Tempe. We were in Tempe, Arizona,
Yes.
where Arizona State is. Our flight gets canceled. Everybody's told we're not going anymore. Shoot. And then that night, we get on a bus and we drive to Chicago. We get 2 hours of sleep, and then we're on a flight. Actually, we made it. Thank goodness. This was a few days before the meet. We both had to run the 600 against
The one and only.
a thing Mo. She had won a gold medal at this point.
The year previously.
Whoa.
Yeah, we got.
And she won the 800 gold medal, and she was just there for training purposes.
Yeah.
Just because she still trained with Texas A&M, and they were at that meet, so it's pretty actually common for people to do that. But yeah, we had to run in that race with her. We did a workout that week too, the day after we got there, so our legs were dead.
Yeah.
We also hiked a mountain while we were there. Don't tell our coaches.
Don't
Okay.
That one
That
can't.
I'll stay on the down the list.
Yes, we did hike a mountain like 3 days before because we were there.
You were there. You got to do a little
experience.
sightseeing.
We're apologizing now. That was sophomore year, Grace
Okay.
and Alli. We wouldn't do that again. But that one hurt the heart a little bit.
Yeah, we got
dusted.
That was very humbling.
Dusted is like a nice way to put it. Like she dogged on us. Like
Yeah, she put us in our
she was
place.
so nice though. She like
That's good.
congratulated us at the end. I was like, girl,
that's
I
awesome.
don't.
You don't have to. You don't
don't
have
gotta
to
sugarcoat
hype
it.
me up for that one. Yeah, that one was a big one.
Yeah, that was a massive one.
Was it a nice conversation? At least afterwards, you ask her any questions or things like that.
I would like.
Or were you
I'm
too
so. I
scared?
like think about it now and I get a little embarrassed. I was like, you did so good. I'm so proud of you. I was like, girl, what were you doing? So
See, I did not feel very well after that race. I said my good jobs, and then I went and laid on the ground, like on my own, because we had to run a 4x4 still after that. That's a big thing. At like meets, just like meets in general, everybody runs a 4x4.
Yeah.
Just like for training purposes.
So you got to whip yourself into shape.
You got to pull it together
after your
very
races.
fast.
Really fast. What's the turnaround in 600 to 4x4?
It depends on the meet.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay.
That one we had like, I think like an hour, which is actually a good amount of time.
That's not bad.
Like that's better than a lot of meets. But yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it's a doozy, I think is the one word to say. But we get through it. We power through. We know it's for
Heck yeah.
bigger cause.
And the 4x4 is fun. Is it?
Oh, yeah.
In college, I know in high school it's the last event of every
Yeah.
meet, so
Yeah.
everyone gets hyped for the 4x4. Is that how it is in college too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
It's
at our
pretty
home
cool.
meets they like they
They
have like
fire.
the, you know the
Oh,
fire that they
I've
have.
been there for it.
Yeah,
It's cool.
and then the
Yeah.
lights turn on and off, and they have the
Oh,
like
yeah.
songs. It's the most like hype I think around
Track-
at a track
yeah.
meet.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Heck
which is
yeah.
interesting.
You get a walkout song? Did you say
Yeah,
that?
I didn't.
Really?
I didn't say that.
You guys
but yeah,
get
it's
walkout
cool.
songs for that?
For the 4x4.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
about it.
It's like
It's cool.
the one time we're like, yeah. Look at us.
Look at us. We're in the 4x4.
The like B team 4x4. We're like, yup.
Yep. We're here. You're gonna watch us run, and it's gonna be sick.
We're all the funniest part about it too is like for us, we're like not your primary 400 runners, so we always have like the different spikes for different events. So we
Yep.
always have like our distant. We wear the dragonflies, which is like an 800 to a 5K shoe. So we're
Yeah.
always wearing those bad boys for the race. Everybody's coming out in their sprint spikes. And we're like, yeah, the
We're running
4x4.
dragonflies for 400.
It's funny. It is very funny to watch.
Do they give you? They make fun of you a little bit for that, or is everyone kind of just dialed
I think
in?
we make fun of ourselves more
Yeah.
than anybody. If you recognize it, I think it's okay. It's fun. It makes it a little bit more funny too. So we are big about like within our group as a whole. We always like I don't know tug each other's tail and things like that. So it's funny.
Poking a little fun.
Yeah.
Gotta have a little fun while you're on the track.
Yeah,
You
of
have
course.
to.
Oh yeah. What are your walkout songs for the 4x4? Did you
I don't
remember?
know. What did we choose last time?
I think they did like black and yellow.
yeah.
Can you-
We gotta be more like unique this year. I'm gonna keep that
There
in
you go.
mind.
Okay.
And then I don't know if I'll get a say, but if I do,
Okay.
it'll be cool. You gotta listen
let
for
me-
it.
Yeah, no, I'll be there.
'Kay.
When is your home? And do you host a couple?
We
I think
host
there's
a lot.
Like 5 this year.
Really
No,
fun.
not 5.
Yes, there's a last
Oh, you're
last
right.
chance one that counts as it too.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think the first one is December 2nd, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
So,
That's a smaller meet, just kind of like a
little shakeout,
yeah,
a little
a little
like
rust
an exhibition.
Yeah.
You could say. Not
Yeah.
really, but
It still
it's
it
cool.
still counts towards
Oh yeah,
like your
and that's the
season
thing.
ending times.
We
but-
used to do a like black and gold special, so the team would
Yeah.
just compete against each other. But our team has gotten so good that people are putting up great times that early in the year, so they made it a true meet. So those times can count towards like nationals and stuff. So that alone is cool that they've had to switch that.
that they had to
Yeah.
do that. Yeah.
Because you guys gotten just so good. That, like,
I think we had a hurdler like break the school record in
I do remember
December
that
last year.
Yeah, I do remember that. I can't remember her name though. I can't remember who it was.
I don't remember who it was.
It was either Paige McGee or Marina Beebe.
Yeah, I don't
But I
know.
don't know
It was
which
one of
one.
those
Yeah,
two, but
yeah, 'cause I know BB,
They're both- yeah.
I know BB broke a record last year. I don't know if it was at
They
the
went
beginning
back
of the
and
year.
forth. That's
yeah.
a thing.
That was
Yeah.
a cool. That was
Yeah.
a cool little competition they had throughout the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Both great athletes.
yeah, they're beasts. They're good.
How are the rest of the events looking? I know you guys kind of stay in the 800
Yeah.
a little bit, but how
We
is it?
kind of have an advantage with it because our practice time, the throwers are at the same time, and then the sprinters come in like while we're still there, so we get to like see a little bit of and we like have raced a little bit of cross country, so we got to see some of their
The distance
aspects
people
too.
too. Yeah.
I mean, biasly, I think the team looks really good.
Yeah.
There were time trials, I think, last week, and everybody was doing stuff.
Like,
and
just.
it was gross sometimes. People were, not even time, like the throwers were throwing at the same time, and we would watch. We were doing a workout because we were prepping for a cross race, and we were just like, oh my
watching
God.
it all, we're like,
how is this real? Like,
yeah,
wow.
You're getting me excited right now.
I'm excited. Hopefully it shows in our Big Ten final results.
I do believe this is like the most confident I've been in our team thus far.
I
Like
agree.
as we've gone through the program,
Yeah.
like the team is so good, and I cannot reiterate that. Like not even just like the women's team, like the men's team too.
The men's team is really
insane.
good too.
So it's cool.
Yeah.
It's
No.
cool stuff.
And December 2nd is the first indoor meet, or is that?
It's like
It's early December. I'm almost
Yeah.
positive it's the second, but it's don't quote us on
It's
that.
the Saturday
Yeah.
before
We'll-
finals week.
Okay, we'll check
So,
it. We'll check it
yes.
afterwards.
Okay.
Okay, I'll put a little graphic up or something like, here's the first meet, in case we got it wrong.
That's funny.
No, that's awesome. But we've talked about this upcoming season, but now I kind of want to go back to when you guys were originally getting recruited. I know we've talked about it a little bit, just off camera and things like that. But your twin sisters decided to come to the University of Iowa together. From what you've told me, you guys didn't even want to be in the state of Iowa.
Yeah, I think that just goes to show how awesome the University of Iowa is, because Grace and I were dead set. We're like, we're going somewhere warm with no winter.
And we told everybody, like
Yes.
we told you, we told people like when we were at camps,
Yeah.
like, oh, we're going out of, like we're going down south,
Yeah.
we're going somewhere warm.
But yeah, after visiting Iowa, whole like mindset flipped. It was like, wow, this is awesome. Like, I love Iowa.
All of a sudden, you're like, we should stay here.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a cool experience. Just like getting to see other schools too was pretty cool. But yeah, just put into perspective, like sometimes what you have in your own backyard is the best option.
Well, it's like we didn't just visit like one other school. We visited like a couple others, and like we knew like by the end of Coach Woody and Coach Wakenight both came to our house twice. Well, Coach Wakenight did, but then Coach Woody came the second time. And after that conversation, like they had left for like 5 minutes.
This is embarrassing. I don't know why I did this.
We looked at each other and we were like, you want to go to Iowa? I want to go to Iowa.
Yeah.
And we decided then and there, like, yeah, that's like the place we want to be. Like after all of these visits and stuff, we know that that's where we want to go. And we called them.
They're like, should we turn around? Like,
No, don't
You
worry.
guys do the paperwork right now?
go ahead. Like, we'll figure it out. But yeah, it was cool.
It was cool. It was really cool. Yeah.
That is really cool. You said that they came over, Wake Night came over to your house twice, Woody came. What were some of those conversations like? What was kind of the delivering line that was like, okay, this is the place that we want to go to, if you remember?
I think a big thing for us, I could just be speaking for you, but a big thing for us is we didn't want to go into a program that like, it was just like, oh, like you can go and like, oh, run for fun, like just do this, like just to do it. Like we wanted to get better. We didn't want to be like, we wanted to be at the bottom of our group when we came in. Like we wanted people to push us and make us like want it more. And I think both of them have that mindset. You know, Woody has a decorated background because he was both of them were great athletes. And it just goes to show like the determination and to put like Iowa, not necessarily on the board because Iowa is such a great program in multiple areas as like a college in general, but to put Iowa track and field like on the board as well. In the past, I know the team, like the women's team specifically, had struggled before both of these coaches came in. Not to say that there weren't great athletes, because there are great athletes that went through the program, but as a whole, the program, I think, struggled a little bit. And they, I think, sold that for us at like, they want to put Iowa on the board. We want to be fighting with teams like Florida or Georgia, who are your notoriously known great track schools. And that, I think, was a big thing that sold it for me. I don't know if you could say the same.
Yeah, I agree. Also, like, Wake is just awesome at talking to people.
Yes.
He knows like what every athlete needs in terms of like, oh, like you're not feeling as fast today, let's switch up that workout. And he made sure to let us know like, I know how to cater training to you. Right. And also on top of that, he's just very personable. Yeah. So he's like our bud. We love messing with him. We love joking around. So like, with having that competitive mindset, you still get to have fun. So, and we could see that like just in talking to him as a senior in high school. I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. So
well, and we weren't the best like out there. Like we didn't have the fastest times in the nation, but Wake is great at. He'll take a chance on you, and he believes in you more than I think we believe in ourselves a lot of the time. And he just like instills in you like you're here for a reason. Like I have that trust in you, and like I want you to do big things, like not only on the track but also in life in general. Yeah. So I think that was like you said, that was a big thing too. Just like that personal side of it, of feeling like I'm not just another number on the team. I'm an athlete, and I'm your athlete, and you respect me as that, and I can respect you as that as a coach as well.
Yeah, when talking with Coach Wakenite after you guys left for that first interview that we did, when I told him that I was doing a story on YouTube, his smile was so big. He's like, "Oh, I can't wait to talk about Alli and Grace."
Today
we always are buddy.
Oh yeah, that's what he told me too. He's like, we're always just making fun of each other, having fun in practice and things like that.
We all have like personalized handshakes with him to like leave practice. So like Grace does a little jellyfish, and I do like a big jellyfish, and he has it with every like girl in our group. He's awesome. We all wore like Halloween costumes today.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so
a couple
cool.
people dressed as him. It was funny. He has this iconic vest that he wears a lot. We saw a couple of those today, so that was good.
It was fun. What were you guys?
So I actually, this is like my thing. I wore my 5th grade costume. I was a dinosaur that year. And it was really big on me in 5th grade, and I just like think it's really funny. Like the legs come up to here on my
has like a hat and all. Like if you need a photo of it,
please do, because we could definitely throw that up there afterwards. Please send pictures. Please send those pictures.
So I was a dinosaur.
That's awesome.
And then mine was not as good. I just didn't have the time that Alli had. That took a lot of work. So we have this like cat shirt, and then we have a cat too, so it was funnier. It's like an old lady shirt, and then I just wore glasses, and it was like a crazy cat lady. But I was hoping to put on like big khakis or something. I just didn't get to it. But Alli definitely stole the show. We had a couple people.
Our teammates they did Phineas and Ferb,
and they made them out of Trader Joe's bags. Like the heads, it was so funny.
It was really funny. It's a very last minute thing that they made.
So it wasn't like.
So it was very goofy, but it was really, really funny.
No, it was really good.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. I mean, since it is Halloween time, you guys dressed up. You guys and it's cold out. Are you staying inside, watch any Halloween movies? What's your Halloween movie go-to? What's your go-to candy?
I'd say Coraline. We're big Coraline fans.
Really?
People will call it creepy,
People say it's
but it's
scary,
an incredible
but
movie.
Is it?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Oh my god!
No.
You gotta do that.
Okay.
It's not scary.
This is the second interview in a row because it's Samantha Carey. We talked about Hamilton. I've never seen Hamilton either.
I've never seen Hamilton.
Okay, that makes me feel better. Thank you.
We have not. Yeah.
Okay, but Coraline needs to be on my list.
What is that type? The like claymation.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It took them so long to make this movie.
It's so
so good. It's like it's definitely like a children's
movie. Like creepy,
scary children's movie, but it is so I like it.
Yeah.
Like that's my go-to. I tried finding it the other day on Hulu. They didn't have it anymore, and I was very sad. But
so where is it? Did you figure it out where it is?
No, I didn't.
It used to be on Netflix for a while.
It was on Netflix. That's where we used to watch it. We watched it like multiple times when it was on Netflix. Yeah. Because I'm not a big I don't like really rewatching movies, but Coraline's one of those where I'm like, I'll
die
watch
on
that
the hill
again.
that it is the best movie.
Really? Wow, you're putting a lot of praise on this movie.
I know, I'm serious. It's so good. I love that movie.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go watch it later then.
I'll
have to dig a little bit and find it if it's not on Netflix or Hulu.
You might. I think it's on Hulu, but we didn't have the subscription for it. And I was like,
I don't know if I do either. I'm gonna have to call my mom or something. Mom, what's the Hulu password?
Yeah, it's funny.
We'll find it. What's your go-to candy though? And what's your thought? Okay, before we get to that, what are the thoughts on candy corn? I know it's a big controversy around this time.
I don't hate it, but I feel like a lot of it it's like one of those that makes your teeth feel weird and your stomach hurt.
But I will eat it.
Okay.
Around Halloween time,
if there's sweets given to Alli and I both, we're gonna eat them.
We have a dessert every single night.
We do.
That's another hill I'll die on. You can nutrition.
Well,
so
to our
important.
coaches, we eat healthy. We do eat
to
healthy.
The coaches, the coaches for what they know.
Just like
we do eat very healthy.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just a cookie dough at the end of the night.
Yeah, you gotta have a little bit of dessert, something sweet every night.
Reward yourself a little bit. A long hard day of classes and workouts.
Right.
A little reward at the end of the day.
Exactly.
That's awesome. I like that mentality.
Yeah, I've I don't know if trained is the right word, but like as soon as I finish dinner, I'm like, ooh, I need something.
She's always like, also it's like, hey Grace, have you had your cookie dough?
Do you want some cookie
Do you want me to grab it for you?
Yeah,
It's the funniest thing ever.
yeah.
But we have like a we have this little like hanging basket thing, and it's always like full of candy. I'm typically the one who eats it.
Yeah.
Allie doesn't eat as much of that, but yeah, we both have very major sweet tooths.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
We never. Okay. In terms of candy, though,
Okay.
I'm more of like a dessert gal, not
Yeah.
so much
Not necessarily
candy.
like a candy bar or
If
something.
I
No.
did have something though, it would be Nerds clusters.
I thought you'd say
Interesting.
Milk Duds.
I like Milk Duds too. On occasion, I would say those two.
Interesting.
I
Probably
don't
top.
know. I don't know what my favorite
Yeah,
is.
yours is gum.
I
Extra
actually
gum.
love
I don't know
gum.
if
Like,
That's not
yes.
a candy. Would
I
you
mean,
consider
well,
that a candy?
the gum like inside a sucker, I guess. But there's
That's
some
fair.
gum that I would consider candy because they got all these different types of flavors
Yeah.
and things like
I
that.
just
I
do
don't know.
mint sugar-free gum.
Okay.
So it's not as...
Grace chews a lot of
I
gum.
do chew a lot of gum. But
If you consider that a
I
candy,
guess if you
for
consider
sure.
that candy, other than that,
That's kind of a hot topic, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah. I
Candy
wouldn't
or
consider
not?
it candy, but I guess Allie probably
I
does.
don't know.
I feel
Maybe a little.
I mean, I feel like there's like the double bubble where they have
Okay.
like a bunch of different flavors and it's
Yeah.
wrapped up like it's a candy piece,
okay.
but it's gum. I don't know.
I would consider that candy.
Yeah,
do
I'd
like
think
that.
so.
I think the sugar-free aspect of it. And if it's in a pack, I don't think it's
I don't
just...
know.
I don't
Double bubble comes in a pack.
No, it's not.
It comes in little wrappers.
They're little wrappers.
It comes in like big boxes.
The big, like you buy
I'm
it like a
thinking Hubba
softball or
Bubba.
baseball game when
Yeah.
you're
I was
Exactly.
thinking Hubba.
child.
I was
Yep.
thinking Hubba Bubba.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. Where that? Or
That's
Hubba
like the
Bubba, the one
rope.
in the roll?
I don't know. if
No.
that's
What's the one where it's like they're like massive pieces?
I know what you're talking
and
about,
it's
but I
like
don't know the
you
name of
chew
it.
a
It
piece
might
and
be
it's like
Hubba Bubba.
way too much bubble gum. Like
I think that's
Interesting.
the same
I
brand.
don't
They're
know.
the same
It might be.
brand, just like
I
different.
don't
I
know.
don't know if I've heard of what you're talking about. I'm gonna be honest.
I actually
know what
You
I'm
know
know,
what you're
okay,
saying.
as long as you know what you. That's awesome.
Okay.
Well, we talked about the classes a little bit, not really, but you talked about long day classes, then practices and things like that. What are you guys studying? How's the workload
Yeah.
kind of been like this year? How have you guys been able to handle that?
So we just entered our first year of grad school.
Yes.
We're
Gotcha.
both doing the sport and recreation
Right.
management,
Yeah.
but
So
we
we're
want to
doing
take
together.
completely
different routes with it, which is
Okay.
very ironic. So
Yeah.
it's like it's still that twin aspect of doing that. We also got different bachelor's degrees.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely. She
But-
wants to go to law school.
Yeah,
afterwards,
so I'm studying for the LSAT right now, but I want to go more of like a sport law approach. I would love to like work for a university or like work on the NCAA enforcement staff, but I'll cross that bridge later on.
That's something for later on down the
But
road.
yeah, Grace
So
is different though.
I actually got my undergrad in marketing through Tippy. So I would like to take like either like go to a marketing agency route or like work for like one of your big brands like Nike, New Balance, one of those, just like on their marketing team. I think that'd be super cool. So definitely
Interesting.
very, very different.
Yeah,
Which is
definitely very different,
Yeah.
but still sports and recreation. Then what you guys get your bachelor's in?
I did sport and rec.
Okay, sports and
undergrad.
rec.
and
then-
mine was marketing.
Gotcha.
yep.
Well, so which one of you, or were you both in the Sports Business Association?
Oh, I was.
You were? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I thought I recognized you.
Were
'cause
you
I-
in that?
I was in it last
Oh,
year. Yeah. I thought I
cool.
could have like when I
Oh, that's funny.
came in for the last interview. I was like, I feel like I've seen her before.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the women in sports SIG.
That's right. You did. That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm a big advocate. Like, I remember the first time I learned about Title IX, I was like, it's like not specific towards women, but like I was like, yep, I love
Boom.
this. That's what I want to do. So.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
and I feel like that's kind of what inspired you to like go the law route.
Oh,
which is so cool.
absolutely.
And I think
Absolutely.
like not only Allie knowing that, like in educating herself, like you've educated so many people.
Thank you.
Like I feel like I've learned so much. I like didn't know as much about Title IX, especially not being in the SRM program, which I should have. I should have definitely. But you educated me a ton on it, and now I feel like it just like has like stemmed throughout multiple people that you know so much about it, and you're
you.
willing to like
That's sweet.
advocate for women in
So
sports.
wholesome. Like a little wholesome moment.
That's cute.
Are you still in the Sports Business Association running the Women in Sports?
No, I figured since I graduated, I would like pass the torch.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully they still have it. I don't really know. I follow the social media pages still because
Yeah.
like I don't know. It's
We
fun
like
to
to
keep
check
up with,
in.
but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Are you still in it?
I'm not, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I've started going towards more of this broadcasting route, so
that's
kind of had to, kind of stray away from the business side. But I don't know, it was fun last
It
year.
was cool,
What-
yeah.
What were you guys able to, because I know you guys watched the Dr. Grant documentary. What else did you guys do?
We, what else did we do? We had a guest speaker. We had a couple guest speakers. We did Kahoot,
Fun.
which was fun, about Title IX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so,
really cool.
It
That's
was
really
cool.
fun.
Yeah, nothing big, but it was a fun group.
Yeah, no. When I heard that you guys were doing that, I was like, "That's a good one. That was a good
Thank
idea.
you.
That was a good idea."
you.
Are there any other things that you guys do outside of school and sports, kind of like SBA, but maybe like some other groups that you guys are a part of, or what do you guys try to do to spice up the day that's not school or sports?
We do. Okay. Well, we both work. We have like
Yeah.
a couple jobs, and then we're also both a part of. It's called Hawkeyes. It's like a women's group of athletes, which is super cool. It's just like we get together and like talk about just like being a woman in sports, but also like we've gotten into like giving back too. Last meeting, we actually made tie blankets for domestic violence victims. So that was cool.
Which
so
is
it's
very
like
cool.
it's
really
not
cool.
only getting together with other athletes, but it's also like
Giving back
to
while
the
doing
community.
so. It was
Yeah.
that was an incredible experience.
Yeah, and not only that, but we have a lot of speakers come in too and just like educate us while we're doing it. So like someone came in and just talked to us about like what the signs and things to like know in case like we ever like
Deal
see
with domestic violence,
violence
or like
with ourselves
see,
or see it in
Yeah.
other women
Yeah.
or men at that point. But yeah,
I'm trying to think. I'm also in. It's called ISAC.
Okay.
It's like a student leadership group.
it's kind of
And
like
that's pretty cool.
I would say it's like kind of like your student council. That's the best way
A little
to put
bit,
it.
Interesting, yeah.
Like
a
it's
high
not
school
the
student
same, but
council.
that's a good way to like represent it.
Yeah.
Sam Carey was president.
She was president.
of it.
Of
I think
ISAC.
she did mention it last time.
Yeah.
I think she talked about it a little bit. But you kind of expand on that a little bit. What else do you guys do with the ISAC, and then what's kind of your role in it?
So I am a part of the health and wellness group within. So ISAC makes a lot of decisions for the student athletes at Iowa. I don't know any of the specifics off my head, but like we vote on like, okay, who's athlete of the month? Like, what are ways we can get people more involved in the community? Like stuff like that. But within the health and wellness group, so during finals week, we will host like a little event at Jardine Learning Center. And it's just like, it's like a distress fest. So you go, you're able just to kind of chillax.
There's like they bring in dogs, they have food.
Oh, that's fun.
It's great. It's
It
a
is
great
cool.
opportunity. Yeah.
And then a couple weeks ago was actually Mental Health Awareness Month. So like we all made signs and we posted them all around like the athletic facility. So just small stuff like that. Like it was cool.
Just kind of liven up the athletic department a
Yeah.
little bit. And how do more people get involved with that? I'm assuming it's mostly student athletes that are kind of involved with it, but are there how do those student athletes get involved with that? But is there also other ways that just other students on campus can be involved with it?
So
it's like well, okay, here's the thing, because we both did it last year, and it was like you almost have to apply for it, but then again, like that's for like the people who actually vote on the things.
Gotcha.
But you don't have to be the person to vote on those things to go to the meetings.
Yeah.
So you can sit in and like
student athletes.
They've had
Yeah.
meeting like last year we had a meeting with Gary Barta when he was the
Our meeting tomorrow is actually with Beth Getz, so that'll
Really?
be cool.
yeah, so it's just like hearing more about like their perspective on things. And then we also, last year I know we met with like people from the teaching program on campus and just learning about that program and like what they have to offer. So anybody can go to the meetings.
Yeah.
The
The way-
athletes can. I don't know
Yeah.
if general public
In
can,
terms of like kind of blending like students with student athletes, our vice president goes to the student government meetings every Tuesday.
Gotcha.
Kind of just gives an update. She's like very involved, so that's like one way. I know last year, our vice president last year, he was able to like plant a tree with the student government, like as a way to like blend.
and not only that, but also at a women's like sporting event, one of the softball games, so
Which
it
was
like,
cool.
It was like
Yeah.
a full circle moment. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
How did
And
that
then-
get all set up? So was it like they were planting a tree like
It was
during the
the
softball game? Or?
sustainability chair from the student government, and I don't know if it was before or after. The guy who did it, his name's Dan Klisch. He's now our president. He's he's really cool. He's like
Very
able to
involved,
like
yes.
get things going, and yeah, it was awesome to see that happen.
That's really cool.
But
Yeah.
I don't. They've mentioned doing something this year, but I don't recall what it is.
Okay.
But yeah, there will be some overlap
A
again
little bit
this
of
year.
overlap to do,
Yeah.
like you said, get that mesh between the student athletes and the students. That's really
Yeah.
cool. That is really cool.
It is cool. Yeah.
I kind of want to go back to the Hawkeyes, that's what it's called, right? And you guys talked about the domestic violence, kind of making those blankets for the domestic violence people that struggled with that. What are some other, well, first of all, how did that get all set up to be able to make those blankets? But then what are some other things that you guys are able to do with that organization to help out on campus?
Yeah, so Hawkeyes is an affinity group. There's
Okay.
a Hawkeyes. Who makes up that group? I think it's like retired athletes who went through Iowa. I'm not really
Gotcha.
sure, but
There's
yeah,
a couple
it's-
other affinity groups too.
Yeah, it's really cool though.
So
So we made the blankets for the domestic violence survivors. We what all have we done?
We talked last week about not last week. Last time we met about like mental health awareness, and we
Yeah.
actually had like one of the
Sports psychologists
colleges
come
on
in.
site.
That's really cool.
So it's just like we meet once a month with that group. So
Something
it's
like
like
that.
every month. I think one of the big things in the future is doing more to like help the community and do what we can.
Yeah.
But not only that, but like educate ourselves at the same time. So it was
Yeah.
cool. It's cool that every time that we meet, it's not only like you're doing something, but you're also like learning about it at
And
the
it's
same
also
time.
so fun. I love going to Hawkeyes. Yeah,
It's just
I
like a
think-
great
and
community.
it's not like closed off to only like girls. Like
Gotcha.
anyone
Anybody
is
can come
welcome.
to it, yes.
It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like people from every sport just like sprinkled together, and you just
Heck yeah.
I don't know,
It's very cool.
because we have a really big like student athlete population on campus.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's a great way to meet people. So
Yeah.
It really is. Where do student athletes that kind of want to get involved with that kind of go to learn more about joining you guys in that kind of organization?
probably talking to MJ.
MJ McNary on
Okay.
the field hockey team.
Gotcha.
Or if you have any questions, you can
Come
reach
to
out
us.
to Grace
Yes,
and
Let's do
I.
it. Got
very,
DM us
Big
on
advocates
Instagram.
for
we're
it.
very.
But-
we'll be social with you.
Also, preach it. Everyone should be a part of
Yes.
Hawkeyes. It's awesome. It is
is.
so
It's
cool.
great. Yeah.
That's really cool. That is really cool. What are some of the other sports? I mean, you talk about how there's just a huge array of sports, of different student athletes from all over campus. Who are some of the big advocates that, I mean, obviously you two are very big advocates for it, but who are some other kind of big leaders in the Hawkeyes program that kind of helps put a lot of those events together and lead the group a little bit?
I think
So
MJ is one of the
MJ
biggest.
McNary on the field hockey team. She's the one who like Grace and I are just like a part of Hawkeyes. She like runs
runs
Hawkeyes.
it,
runs
and
that
she
thing.
like makes sure
Yeah.
everything is going according to plan.
Yeah.
She sends out emails and stuff trying to like just entice more people to come to the meetings, and like always brings like such a great attitude.
Such a
and,
positive attitude. Like
is one of the
Yeah.
like happiest people I think I've ever met, and just like brings like such a good energy
Yeah.
that you like know it's gonna be a good time when you go, because she's like put so much work into it.
she is one of those people where it's like, yeah, she's gonna go far.
Yeah.
Like she is gonna go
100%
far.
agree.
She like puts her heart into everything she does, and like she's so involved. Like her and I went on a DEI trip this summer to Selma, Alabama, and I just really got to know her there. It was called the Big Life Trip, and she's awesome. So yeah, she's the one who like she also I know Maddie Black on the swim and dive team also helps
also a
run it.
great, yeah,
And
person
then
for that.
there's a softball student athlete. I'm not sure what her name is, but she also heads Hawkeyes. But yeah, it's cool.
That's sweet. That is sweet. And you guys talked about how with that, you guys do a lot of mental health stuff, especially with Mental Health Week a couple weeks ago now. With the student athletes and being a Division I athlete and things like that, I know Samantha Carey was also a big person who really advocated for mental health. How has that kind of been working with student athletes and being able to balance that student life and athlete life at the same time? Have you found, I'm sure there's been a lot of difficulties with it, but how have you guys been able to overcome those difficulties at Iowa?
Yeah, it's definitely a balance.
Well, and I think we came in during COVID too, so that
And
was
that was really
crazy.
hard.
Yeah.
That was tough.
But I think a big thing is like there are like sports psychologists on campus in the athletics that is very beneficial, but also like finding your people too is big for us.
Yes.
Not only having each other, but like we have a great group of people that we see every single day at practice, and we can be open and vulnerable with them and just like be honest about what's going on, and they'll hear you out and they'll respect you and they'll like help you in any way that they can. So I think that's been a big thing. But going into college athletics was a major adjustment, and I know like both of us didn't run outdoors our freshman year due to like some sort of injury. So like it got really lonely, and that's like a really hard thing to navigate. But like because of the people we were surrounded by, like it was okay. We knew we would get through it and like things would be better.
Also, like picking up hobbies outside of both track and academics has been massive. Like I started reading, which is not that big of a thing.
But it's a big thing, like finding time for that, because we do have very busy days.
Yeah,
you have to like set a
booked.
certain time like away for. It doesn't like you can't think about
take
those
your
things.
mind off like
Because at the end of the day,
school
we're
and
more
athletics.
than students, and everybody is more than a student and more than an athlete.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Exactly. Well, I don't read, so maybe that's something I need to start picking
I
up.
don't really read either.
I used to
so
be
it's
like,
okay.
I'm not a reader. I'm
yeah.
not a reader. I'm not doing it.
Nope.
But if you find a good book, it's addicting.
Is there a book that you're reading right now that you're really enjoying?
Oh, I just started a book, so I don't know what it's called. But what's a good book I've read?
You've read a lot of books.
I've read a lot. Okay, it's not that much, but I've read like 12 this year, which
Whoa.
I'm very proud of because I never
That's
read
good.
before. Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah, there's a book called Silent Patient. They sell it at Target.
Okay.
Crazy. It's crazy plot twist. It's good. It's not the best one I've ever read, but it's definitely the most like intriguing that I've read. So
Interesting. So big recommendations.
Oh,
Silent Patient.
massive recommendation.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to write that down. Maybe I need to start getting into reading. You know,
Yeah.
maybe to help with the grades a little bit.
Yeah, well, to me, it feels a little too much like homework during the school year to read, so
Fair enough.
I stray away from it. But I love that you read. I think
Thank you.
It's great.
But like Grace picked up crocheting.
I was gonna
That's
say,
like
what do you
her
do?
outlet.
I do.
Crocheting?
I also cook a lot. I cook for Allie. We live together, and I do. We have this like thing where
cooks
I'll cook
everything.
it, she'll clean it up. So it's like
Oh,
a great.
that's a nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice balance.
It's
It
really
is,
nice
but
for me.
Cooking to me is very therapeutic, so I like to do that. That's like a way
you
to.
go.
I like call my mom when I'm cooking too, so it's like
That's
a double
fun.
win. But yeah, I also crochet. I don't know why I picked up crocheting. I just thought it was fun, and now I just like we just recently. We now have a niece, so that was great. So I made her like a little baby hat. She's like 6 months now, so she's a little older, but I made like a baby hat recently.
that's so
and
cute.
they sent me photos of her in it, and it is so cute.
That's awesome.
It's very rewarding because
Oh,
I make things for like gifts for people, which is nice.
Are you gonna start making stuff for like your teammates or something? Maybe some socks, some game socks.
I
or
want
some
to make
meat
stuff
socks?
for me.
Make some stuff for. Oh, she won't make anything for you.
Crocheting's
No.
it's kind of expensive. Like
Is
I
it?
made a blanket for my mom, and I had to go to the store like 6 times to get more like yarn to use in it, and I was like,
Jeez.
it's racking up the bills.
Very expensive hobby.
Yeah, so I told Allie, I'll do it for her. She has to pay for it, and Allie's very much
She's
a
been saying
cheapskate.
this.
So
she's been
she's not
saying
gonna
this.
pay for
If she
it.
hasn't
Saying it.
done it, I don't know if I can trust
she
her.
won't pay for it, so I can't.
That's not true.
Come on. What's your favorite meal to cook then? If you're getting big into
Oh
cooking.
yeah, what is your favorite meal to cook?
Go to.
We have a lot of rice and chicken.
A lot of rice and chicken.
Variations
I like
of
to
that.
do it like with a little, like we have like a long wild rice, and then like we season the chicken, and then like
Get
you put
fancy
like
with it.
olives, spinach, a ton of other veggies, and then like balsamic on top, like
That's
a little
when-
Mediterranean.
yeah.
That's one of my
Interesting.
favorites right now. But I don't know. It depends. We go grocery shopping like once a week, and then we're just like we'll just get a ton of stuff, and if it works, it works. But
There you go. You're making me want to learn how to cook.
it's
just
so
get
I'm not.
frozen
I wouldn't
food.
say I'm great at it. It's so therapeutic though. It is so therapeutic, and it like fills my time sometimes when
That's
I'm like
good.
bored.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like it's just a good skill to have, you know. I can make spaghetti. That counts, you know.
That's good.
I can break the noodles into and put them into a boiling pan.
Do you cook it with just pasta, or like do you make the meat to go with it too? Is it
I
just
get frozen meatballs.
Oh, okay.
There
so
we go.
there's something.
That's good.
I'm not
That's
making
good.
the meatballs myself,
If
but
you get them from Trader Joe's, it's
They're
like
pretty good.
Trader
spiffy.
Joe's. Okay.
Yeah,
I've been
do you-
going to Hy-Vee.
Hy-Vee's expensive.
It is.
Go to Aldi.
I did go to Aldi this week. I switched it up. My mom
good
called me
too.
and said, you're spending too much money on groceries.
Yeah.
You need to switch it
Hy-Vee
up.
is like very expensive.
Yeah.
Love Hy-Vee, but
Yeah. Okay, so Trader Joe's might be the
Trader
place to
Joe's.
go.
Trader Joe Aldi's is pretty
Trader
good.
I think
Okay.
they're owned, they were like
I think they're like
created by
sister
brothers or
yeah.
something.
Interesting.
Like,
okay.
actually, oh.
Well, maybe I'll have to.
They're good places,
I'll
yeah.
stop by those two places and teach myself how to cook or something. There's
There
got to be a
we
good YouTube video or something out there, right?
Well, that's the thing. I don't like following recipes. I just because I feel like that like stresses me out too much. I just kind
Okay.
of like go with the flow.
You get creative
if
with
it
it?
sounds good, yeah. Depends. It depends on what we have in our fridge because we're also
Okay.
big. Like we don't waste. We don't want to waste it because we paid for it. So, yeah.
That's super fun. Those are some fun hobbies. Now they're getting my mind going. Like, what do I need to do?
What's
gonna
your
want-
hobby?
What's my? Oh no,
should
this is
ask.
not about me. I work all the time. I don't have hobbies.
That's okay. that's a hobby in and of itself.
Just
There we
grind
go.
it. There
Just
you go.
grind it. There you go. Maybe I should hit the gym again. You know, maybe that would be my therapeutic
you
therapeutic
go.
hobby. That'd be awesome. So winter season, indoor season starting December 2nd.
December something.
This is
December
somewhere early
2nd,
December.
that's
I don't
what we
think I don't think it's the
Grace is
second.
confident.
I'm confident in it. Yes.
You're
Allie's
gonna
not.
go look and be like,
It's not gonna be December.
I have my
2nd.
phone right here. You know what? We're gonna take a few minutes
Shalon.
right now while I.
I
Put me
really,
to the test.
I really,
I
yeah.
we
really
go.
think it's a second.
Okay, Hawkeyes announced 2023-24 indoor schedule. First thing that pops up. You ready?
golly.
December 2nd in
I
Boston.
told
You guys are going to Boston.
I told you. That's
No,
well,
oh wait, we won't
that's
go
a
to
different
Boston.
one.
We won't go to Boston.
You guys
That's for
aren't going to Boston?
That's for like distance. That's like a distance. meet,
Okay.
yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
when's the home one? Is it December 2nd?
The Jimmy Grant Alumni Invitational. That's December 9th.
Wait, then where did the second come from? Was it
Probably
that
that
one?
That's the
one.
top. Yeah, it is the first
Okay.
one, but it's in
Oh.
Boston.
I was
Yeah.
a week off. At least I got the date right.
Yeah.
The day of the week right.
Yeah, you kind of knew the schedule. It's just that
Right.
you're not going to that
yeah.
meet. You know, you kind of knew it. That's in it's in the winter. It's in December.
You win some, you lose some. What can I
Exactly.
say?
You were close.
Yeah.
Well, Alli and Grace, I can't thank you enough for coming today. This was super
Yeah,
fun. You
thank
guys are
for
so
having
interesting.
us. This was fun. This was
No,
really
yes,
cool.
yes.
This was super fun. You guys are super interesting people. This was really
Thank
cool to
you.
watch.
Thank you,
It's
thank
really
you.
cool to talk to you guys, and I can't wait for the indoor season to start up.
Nice.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. And thank you guys for tuning in and watching our second episode of Meet the Hawkeye. Be sure to check out the Daily Iowan website and YouTube page for more interviews with Meet the Hawkeye. For Alli and Grace Bookin-Nosbich, I'm AJ Reisetter. Have a great rest of your day.
Yay.
Boom.